Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Have you ever been walking through a city during a downpour and noticed how the water doesn't soak into the ground? It just rushes down the street into the drains. Now imagine that rainfall is 10 times heavier than usual. Suddenly, those drains are overwhelmed, and the street becomes a river. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. It's the reality of urban flash floods, a problem that's getting worse all over the world. Today, we're diving deep into why our concrete jungles are so prone to drowning and what we can do about it. The root of the problem is something you walk on every day: impervious surfaces. Think roads, parking lots, sidewalks, and buildings. All that concrete and asphalt has replaced the natural soil and vegetation that would normally act like a sponge, soaking up rainwater. Instead, the water has nowhere to go but to run off, and it runs off fast. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that for every single percentage point increase in these hard surfaces, annual floods jump by an average of 3.3%. To put that into perspective, just 1 acre of a parking lot can generate over 27,000 gallons of runoff for every inch of rain that falls. That's an incredible amount of water suddenly rushing into our drainage systems. And that brings us to the second major issue: our cities' plumbing. Many of our urban drainage systems are relics, some dating back to the 19th century. They simply weren't built for the size of our modern cities or the intensity of modern storms. They're too small, they get clogged easily, and they fail when we need them most. It gets even messier in cities with combined sewer systems, where rainwater and raw sewage share the same pipes. When a heavy storm hits, these systems get overwhelmed and have to release the excess directly into our streets and rivers. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency estimates this results in about 850 billion gallons of untreated wastewater and stormwater being dumped into U.S. waterways every single year. Yes, you heard that right. 850 billion gallons. Layered on top of all this is the global accelerator: climate change. A warmer atmosphere can hold more moisture. It's simple physics. This means that when it does rain, it rains harder. Storms that used to sprinkle rain over several days can now dump that same amount in just a few hours. Scientists are even saying that flash floods are getting flashier. Add to that the urban heat island effect, the fact that cities are hotter than the surrounding countryside. This can actually intensify local weather, creating even more severe and unpredictable rainfall right over the most vulnerable areas. It's a dangerous feedback loop, where our cities and our climate are making each other's problems worse. The consequences are, frankly, devastating. Flash floods are a leading cause of death among natural disasters in the United States. The water itself is a hazard, hiding debris and creating dangers, but it's also often a toxic soup of sewage, chemicals, and pollutants. The economic toll is staggering. A flooded basement can slash a property's value by up to 25%. And perhaps the most heartbreaking statistic: nearly 40% of small businesses never reopen their doors after a major flood. The disruption paralyzes entire cities and hits the most vulnerable communities the hardest. But it's not all doom and gloom. We are smart, and we are developing some incredible solutions. The most exciting approach is called green infrastructure. The idea is simple: let's mimic nature's own design to manage water. Instead of just concrete, we can build things like rain gardens and bioswales, which are essentially beautiful planted areas designed to collect and filter runoff. We can put green roofs on buildings, covering them in vegetation that soaks up rain. We can even use permeable pavements that allow water to seep through into the ground below. It's about working with nature, not against it. Technology is also giving us an edge. We now have advanced flood modeling using AI and real-time sensors to predict floods with amazing accuracy, giving people crucial time to prepare. We're even building smart drainage systems that can monitor water levels and react automatically to prevent overflows. So our cities are facing a serious challenge. A perfect storm of concrete surfaces, aging pipes, and a changing climate has put us at risk. But the future doesn't have to be a washout. By embracing innovative ideas like green infrastructure, harnessing cutting-edge technology, and fundamentally rethinking how we plan our cities, we can forge a more resilient future. We can build cities that are not just hubs of civilization, but safe havens designed to withstand the storms to come. Thanks for listening to Fun Facts Online.